Check 1 2, check 1 2. My apologies for my tardiness, but man, this is a masterpiece about to come up. You know what I'm talking about?
If this was another genre like entertainment news, this would have millions and millions of views. This is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
This man.
Talk to him. Huh? What up, Crypto? What's going on, CEO? Oh, we about to get it back. Check 1 2. I was out for a minute, man. YouTube don't pay the bills.
With the help of my brother,
YouTube don't pay the bills, but guess what?
Some internet profits and you need to stop it.
Hey! Come on!
Catch you at your lecture and
Come on!
rock
Do the TLC!
Cause I'm exposed to rhyming. See, I used to be a rapper, I was rhyming a thug.
Yeah! Come on!
Nasty grub. I
What
was
up?
only 17 and
Hey!
didn't know better. Put them things in their face and said,
Give me the top!
but it really amazed me, the age of 40. That
They say turn it up.
use the things that would annoy me to rob our people like Bibles and Qurans. Take your money and then they're gone. Shoot, sell and plagiarize books and dreams of unity. Blame the European, but look what you do to me. Got me thinking we gon' overcome, but when you cut your camera off, you really one of them. You gon' have to watch it back for the rest of your life.
Thank you for the
I know
support.
good and well you can't sleep at night.
Yes,
You done
indeed.
robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs with your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pockets. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet. You gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds with your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. Now they calling me the out cause I revealed the scam. They will shake your hand and still grip your fans. Say Hotep, peace, black power, shalom. Assalamu alaikum, praise the Lord in Islam. At the same time they plotting to get in your pocket. They will white label sunglasses, cups and watches. Make a profit for the enemy they talk about. I can't understand why you ain't been walking out. You ain't noticed since you met them, you slipping in life. On Twitter like the pipe and it just ain't right. Bank account got light and you haven't seen the light. You burn on the stage and ain't change your plight. Incense burning, crystals turning. Think to yourself, what you really learning? What you really saw? You gave him your all. He own a museum club in the internet mall. Selling deodorant and hurry up and buy. He don't really care if you're broke and you die. You just acting like you don't care either. This is third evil. Gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs with your own shit crystal, your books and herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet. You gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds with your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. You gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs with your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy.
What up,
the fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pockets. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet.
Well, I've been away for a minute, family. I've been away for a minute. I had things to do, family. We had to go and check the records at Leeds High School. We need to know who goes to Leeds High School. And yeah, we had to go check the records, family. The documentary is coming soon, family. I got a few T's and a few I's to dot, but it's coming soon, family. Yes, it's coming soon. We had to go check the records. We had to go check the records. I mean, yeah, you know what the records say. Leave his pockets like rabbits' ears. We got to check the records. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Anybody know anything about Leeds? Anybody know about Leeds, Alabama? Huh? We just had to go and check the record. We had to check the record. You know what I mean? That we had to do. Moochie had to go check the record. We had to check the record. Did you know, family, who's in the building? Who's in the building? How many people we got in the building? Maybe I should have saved this, man. This is exciting news here. Exciting news here. We had to check the record, family. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. If you know anything about Leeds, Alabama, it's deep, deep, deep in the woods. Deep, deep, deep in the woods, man. Way deep in the woods. You know what I'm talking about? Way out there in the woods, family. But anyway, we had to go check the record, family. Yeah, we had to check the record. We gotta make sure that the information is right and exact. You know what I mean? So you can be on point as we build this thing. So let me see how many people in the building. Family, we need you to get this thumbs up going too. You know I've been away. Every time that I'm away, you already know how they treat us in the algorithms. You already know how they treat us in the algorithm. So I need to get your thumbs up. But fam, I'm telling you, I had to get away, man. I had to do things, you know what I mean? I had to work hard. I got to work hard. You know what I mean? I ain't an internet prophet, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do stuff for the community. I'm trying to make sure I can uplift all humanity. I'm trying to make sure we can uplift all the humanity. I be in the temple working, doing my thing, you know what I'm talking about. But family, did you know? Did anybody know? And matter of fact, I'm going to say this for later. I'm going to wait till everybody come in. Family, you know what's crazy though, family? These people love Trump, man. Trump is a good old fool, man. You know what I mean? Trump is a good old fool, man. Trump called these people slave babies. Did anybody catch that? He said the 14th Amendment was for slave babies, children of slaves. That kind of felt funny. I was like, man. And Sneaky Ricky was so excited. See, it's for us. We are slave babies. That ain't even feel right. People was happy that they were slave babies. I said, man, this is pretty bad, man. Do anybody know that all of us in this country wasn't slaves at the onslaught of the Civil War? And that's what the Civil War was about. That in the North, they pretty much, it wasn't slavery as in the North as it was in the South. So, I mean, when you talk about when you talk about the 14th Amendment freed the slaves, they were already free slaves. In fact, the 14th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 13th ended slavery. You know what I mean? The 14th Amendment made it so Europeans as well as slaves in the South. I'm sounding low. Check 1 2. I'm sounding low. The 14th Amendment. Hold up, let me make sure. The 14th Amendment, I think I'm all right now. All right. The 14th Amendment was not only, how is it now? It's not crispy? Check 1 2, it's not crispy? Hold up now. They messing with me. I feel, how am I now? Thank you for telling me, Crypto. How am I now? Thank you so much. Hey, family, listen. Do you understand? I want you to press a 7 if you understand. I mean, do you understand that in the North, do you understand in the North that they had been free in the North? So the 14th Amendment, only applied to those that was in the South, as well as, but it didn't only apply to the slaves. It also applied to the Confederate soldiers who had broken off and basically abandoned their citizenship with the Union. So in confidence, the 14th Amendment, it just wasn't for baby slaves or babies of slaves. You understand what I'm saying, family? See, people need to go back and check history for what it is, because that's a very, very derogatory term when you really consider that, hold up, the way that it sounds. You know what I mean? And then when you really consider history, you know what I mean? When you really consider history, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And when you really consider history, it's crazy that a guy would come on a national platform and news and just use the term. The term is, was for children of slaves, but that's not true, because even the Confederate soldiers had abandoned their birthright, if you will, when they broke off. You know what I'm saying? So, and to ensure that they would be embraced. This is what it was really about when you go to the origin of it. But I said, man, Trump hardcore, man. He hardcore. He is hardcore. He don't be playing, man. He don't be playing, man. Shout out to Trump, man. You know, another thing that I noticed too, right? Let me share something with y'all. I was looking up, you know what I mean? Because the FBA people are crazy, and this is why I do the show for the FBA the last few weeks, because I like the FBA for real. I really do. But one of the things that the FBAs don't understand is there is before this ICE thing even happened, they was actually locking up people that were citizens here. American Civil Liberty Union, ACLU, of Florida Southern Poverty Law Center, and Gibson, Dunn, and Crutcher LP filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of a natural-born, listen to this, natural-born, you hear it again? Natural-born U.S. citizen who was unlawfully detained and nearly deported as a result of Florida Sheriff improper collaboration with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The case brought against Monroe County Sheriff Rick Ramsey on behalf of Peter Brown, who was detained by the county at ICE request. Brown repeated pleas that he was a U.S. citizen and could not be held for ICE when ignored. Brown has suffered some real emotional trauma because of this experience. He languished in detention and would have been deported to Jamaica, a country to which he has no ties whatsoever. No ties whatsoever. And this is what a lot of people has been hinting at, that eventually they will use this just to round people like us up. They will use it just to round us up. Now, this is what you have to understand. Being an idiot and a fool back in the day, the problem is not the trouble that you get in that you didn't do. The problem is getting out of it. So if one decides to use these ICE tactics to do sweeps in our neighborhood somewhere down the line, the problem is not that they made a mistake. The problem becomes the time that it takes to correct the mistake. And if you will be able to correct the mistake 100 times out of 100. See, what our people don't understand is, let me listen to this. Oh yeah, shout out to Cam James. Cam James did a wonderful job. Quite a few people sent it to me. And if Cam James ever need any deeper research, deeper information, all he have to do is email me at taharkabay@gmail.com. He don't even have to say nothing. He don't have to give me no credit. All he need to tell me is what he want. I got so much research, so much stuff that I haven't brought to the public. All he have to do is call me, email me, send a pigeon, and just tell me what he want. And he got it. He got it. And I'm saying that I have tons of research. Let me get that off my hat. I got tons of research myself, and if I don't got it, Moochie can get it. Tons of research that the public don't even know about yet. They don't even have a clue about yet. I mean, that can prove some things so emphatically and hands down that it'll make people jaw drop. Much of the research is going into the documentary, but nevertheless, that brother did an excellent job. I love how he put it together. And one day soon, I hope to put together some documentary style videos on YouTube. But right now, because I'm at the beginning stages of putting things together on a cutting board, I gotta put mine for a few coins. I just can't put it on YouTube. I gotta put it for a few coins because it is what it is. It's a lot of time involved. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But with that being said, right, family, let me get this right real quick. I want to make sure y'all get these thumbs up. That's what I'm about to look at. I want to see y'all got some thumbs up in here. Make sure y'all get some thumbs up in here. But family, tonight I want to prove just a step further. Is it all right with y'all? Press a 7. Maybe I should put my my spit thing on here. Is it all right with y'all if I take a moment to prove once again the FBA is not a lineage? The reason why it's so important to prove these things is because the way the FBA be operating, there's new people that think that FBA is the call of the hour. That today I'm going to be FBA. I'm going to be FBA. Fam, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen. At the end of the day, there was a guy on the comment section, and on this comment section, he had the nerve to say that, well, what about Jesse Jackson? Jesse Jackson coined the term African American. Do he own African American? My response to that straw man argument: Did Jesse Jackson trademark the term African American and then say that African American is a lineage? Did Jesse Jackson make events, raise donations, created products around African American? See, these people put up these straw man arguments, but the reason why I want to educate the FBAs on this is because in the comment section, I was telling the person that, listen, FBA is a hustle. Thank you so much, Rainy Fox Media. The FBA is a hustle. FBA is a hustle, and a person don't understand the hustle. So let me break down the hustle for you. This is how the hustle works. Let me show you something. If I create a term, right? Hypothetically speaking, if I create a term called, let's call the term African descendants foundational Americans. I create a term. African descendants foundational American. African descendant foundational American. ADFA, right? Here we go. Look at Marcus Vincent Thomas in the building. Shout out to Marcus. ADFA. And I push this ideal on social media where I say we're Africans, we're descendants of Africans, but we founded in America because we're unique. Listen to it. This is how the hustle works. Now, people say, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're descendants of Africans, but we're founded in America. That makes sense. That's amazing. I am ADFA. Now, this is where the grift comes in. The grift comes in when I develop products around ADFA. So I get people saying ADFA. I get Lord Jamal, who's a rapper, to say ADFA. I get any type of influencer to say ADFA. All of the social media influencers that didn't have a clue about ADFA, now they start saying it. Then I produce products around ADFA. So now I got free promotion because these crazy people don't understand that there's a hustle being played, that every time you say ADFA, that's free advertisement, that's free marketing, that is free promotioning. That is free. Marcus Vincent, I just trademarked ADFA. Time to say. So this is how the hustle works. So now I can sell some ADFA t-shirts. Now I can say we need to have our own museum, the ADFA Museum, where we can highlight the accomplishments of the African descendant people that are founded in America. And now we can blend the African culture with the American experience. See, this is better than FBA. This is way better than FBA. This is way better than ADOS. And listen, we don't have to deny our Pan-African brothers, because now when the Pan-African brothers want to pull up, they can pull up and appreciate the African descendants founded in America, and they can wear our style, we can wear their style, and I can do exceptionally well in commerce. You get what I'm saying? So now I say, listen, I'm not all the way African, because I went through the process of the experience in America. Now, so at the same time, what I can do, listen, so what I can do is I can say we make these connections. So I can still buy your dashiki, and you can still buy my tennis shoes or my deodorant. Do you know what I mean? And everybody get along. Now I can get the bag. I mean, now I can get the bag. ADFA. And that's how the hustle works. So FBA, if you don't understand, you know what I'm saying? It won't let me send you money directly on cash. Thank you so much, Thurman Smart. Family, press a 7 if you understand this hustle, how the hustle works. Now listen, the reason why that's a hustle, because any movement for liberation, any movement for progress, there has and there should always be a defining step-by-step process. Remember, the first thing that was the objective of FBA and ADOS was reparations. They no longer talk about reparations. They no longer try to browbeat people on the internet about reparations. That was only during the political season. Because during the political season, these conversations get emotionally charged, and it distracts the people to understand how politics and politicians are working their mojo in the political season. So it distracts people. You know what I'm saying? So somebody say, what is that thumbnail? The thumbnail is a confused FBA. That's the FBA, it is his lineage. It's an FBA lineage guy. That is the iconic FBA lineage guy. That's who it is. You know what I mean? That's the that's the iconic FBA lineage guy. That's what we're gonna. That's gonna be for now our logo for FBA lineage. That's what we're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, FBA, they be dressing things up to something that they not. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Shout out to the FBAs. But listen, you can't be sick. Remember the guy just came on the show. He's 60-some years old, and all of a sudden he FBA now. You feel what I'm saying? All of a sudden he FBA now. You can't do that. You can't be 60 years old and all of a sudden you becoming you being sunned by somebody. You got to stop that, man. You got to stop that. I mean, yeah, this is let me nickname this this logo, that is FBA Dizzle. FBA Dizzle. That's what that is. We're gonna name him FBA Dizzle. Yeah, that's who that is. That's FBA Dizzle. Yeah, this is FBA Dizzle. I mean, Foundation Black American Dummy. That's it. His nickname, FBA Dizzle. All right, that's FBA Dizzle, Foundational Black American Dummy. They gonna get mad at me. Now listen, to those who, let me be serious for a minute. For those who claim to be Black American, foundational Black American, what have you, and you are very sincere about this, I'm really just poking fun. And I know that your intentions may be genuine, even though the ideal came from one that is disingenuous. Disingenuine. Did I say it right? Yeah, disingenuine. You know what I mean? I know. So for those who sincerely trying to get away from identifying and being confused from a social class in this society. I get it, but it's all a hustle. That's all I'm saying. It's all a hustle. But now let's get with it, family. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all good tonight? Somebody need to, I don't know where Black Girls Read at. I ain't see her tonight. She might be in the building a little bit later. But anyway, family, I'm about to go and get this show started, family. I want y'all to sit back and take a seat, and then I'm gonna take it from the top, family. This is not only going to be entertaining, but this is going to be a learning show. You understand what I'm saying? This is going to be a learning show, and I want you to learn with me. Man. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's start the show. Everybody get the thumbs up. We about to kick it, man.
Certified boogie, man.
Check 1, 2.
Certified boogie, man.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna speak the truth, regardless of whether you like that truth or not. We're in the 21st century.
Yeah.
How people are poor, hungry, ragged, naked, and out of doors.
That's right.
How people are being murdered
How my mic sound?
on a daily and consistent basis.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Oh.
A couple weak frauds that crept.
Come on.
They put the bean on me. I didn't neglect you. Time's up. Allow me to bless you. They yell reparation and they got your attention.
Come on.
A failed clown rapper.
Shamon.
He was pimping, but you don't know he was a fed since 9-0. Cosmo Flex was a front for 5-0.
You can't get dropped in a pit of snakes
Certified boogie, man.
and trying to figure out which one has the venom sac.
What's your favorite song, Thurman Smart?
This one is not
Certified boogie,
poison.
man.
FBA was laughing when he went to the Romans. I guess they don't understand that.
What's your
we
song,
own 'em.
Thurman
Lying
Smart?
on GS, claiming I stalked them. That ain't true, cause if it was, I'd have chalked them. I'm simply a blogger, researching for the family, cause people look like me,
Hold up. All right,
continue
let
to
me see.
scam me, continue to
I'm gonna have to
scam us
adjust
in the
myself.
name of liberation. But when I call them out, they claim that I'm hating. Who
Certified
says
boogie,
I
man.
smacked somebody?
Certified
Poke your
boogie,
chest
man.
out, then fly
Certified boogie,
thousands of miles. Check it out.
For a
Certified
peace
boogie,
order.
man.
For a peace order.
I'm back
Certified
like I
boogie,
left
man.
something. And you kept fronting, sick the Romans on me, but they ain't really stopping nothing. How you say you slap a man and go get a peace order? Something ain't adding up. Now I'm in the deep waters. I done took a deep dive, see who you really are. Who named you Tariqa G? Affiliated with the guns? Nah, you ain't a Sunni or the nation, but ain't nobody question why you perpetrating. See, early in the 90s, they put you on a mission. Hip hop was coming.
Yeah, I'm good.
Something different, goofy clown rap to take it off track. But you was so back, nobody followed the act, so they made another
Thumbs
character,
up,
turned
family.
you to a thug. From Cosmo to K-Flex, but still got no love. Album went wood, it was trash, no good. You was hip hop police.
Come on
Bitching
now.
on the hood. How you make a documentary of
This is a sick Negro.
Don't make me do it, Tariq, I know all your secrets. I spoke to all those and knew you don't make me leak it. Yeah. I know people from Alabama from the year of 86. I even know the cop that locked you up and made you flip. I know who got you the ticket and flew you to LA. I know the facility they trained you in. Please don't make a say. One more cheap shot, I expose it all. I know the relationship between your mom and pa. I know your father abandoned you and Miss Shirley took you in. All the tears behind the grin can't wash away the sin. They used you at 17 and they using you at 56. They use you in that stain when they got all them bricks. Is it all worth it living in fear? Looking over your shoulder every day of the year. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. We know about Peanut and her deepest fears. We know why you tried to hide a name for years. We know she FDA, but it gets much worse. We know when you met, and we know her date of birth. You done broke the bell, so may as well pay up. All them sleepless nights, popping pills, and still stay up. We can make this easy, or we can make hard. Cut the check and we can disregard. If not, you can expect to hear your darkest secrets. And I got the receipts to back up what I'm speaking. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed. You built a prison around yourself for you and your family. And if I'm forced to expose you, everyone would get jammed.
Family, did you know? I got a mosquito up here. Did you know? Hey, family, did you know that they have Charles. I didn't know Charles. Did y'all know that Charles Barkley was from Leeds, Alabama? Did y'all know that? I never knew that Charles Barkley was from Leeds, Alabama. Huh? Did y'all know that? I never knew that. Who knew that? Charles Barkley is from Leeds, Alabama, family. Like I said, family, Moochie just something else. That's all I got to say about it. He's something else, family. He's just something else. With that being said, family, we're going to start the show now, family. I'm trying to figure out the song that my brother Thurman Smart asked for. I just can't think of the song. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I never knew he was from Leeds. That's why. Do you notice how Charles Barkley act? Now you understand why Marcus act like he do? Now you understand? Now it all makes sense, right? Now it all makes sense. Anyway, let's get to it, family. It's time to get to it now. Let's get to it. Hold up. Let's get to it. It's time to get to it. Let me get right here. Bam. Hold up. Hold up 1 second. I can't get to what I want to show y'all real quick. Let me show y'all something. You know, I like to demonstrate so we can elevate the information. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do. I like to demonstrate so we can elevate the information. You know what I'm saying? Him and Flex know each other. I can imagine so. You know what I mean? That's right. I can imagine so. But listen, man, let's get it. Let's start with this, because I really need to address those critics that keep on talking about Jesse Jackson created African American, but do we own African American? This is for the critics real quick, so indulge me, family. I just said it before. Did Jesse Jackson make products centered around African American? Did Jesse Jackson trademark African American himself? Did Jesse Jackson claim ownership over the term African American? No, he didn't. So let me prove this once and for all. First of all, Jesse Jackson coming with the African American term also was a grift, not by Jesse Jackson, but by the powers that be. Family, you're going to learn something tonight. Please get your pen and paper, family. We do entertainment, but we also going to educate as we move along. So let me understand this. When we look at, people keep saying Claude Anderson coined the term foundational Black American. Family, that is a lie. He did not. He had a similar term, but that was not the term. The first time that we hear the term foundational Black American and we can associate it with a grift is real recent, and it wasn't Claude Anderson. But now let me educate those who always keep bringing up Jesse Jackson about this term. The term that Jesse Jackson brings to the table, it is a compromised term also, but it wasn't bought by Jesse Jackson. I mean, he was just the mouthpiece of it. Oh, it was brought through him, but it wasn't him. That was an operation also, family. Black was an operation. Oh, speaking of that, Black was an operation, colored was an operation, Afro-American was an operation, African-American was an operation, because none of these names or labels had any standing before slavery as it related to us as a people. So all of it was labels that was given to us, if we be honest. But with that being said, when we look at Africa, the reason why it's a janky term, African American is a janky term, and was given to us by the government, is because Africa refers to a people in the United States who have origins in any of the quote unquote Black racial groups. Any of, there you go, foundational native Black. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much, Mad J Commander. Foundational native Blacks. There you go, brother. It's not the exact term, but it may have the same meaning if people want to use it like that. But listen, when we look at African American, this is one of those projective terms too that keep people discombobulated. Look at the term. It refers to a people in the United States who have origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. This term is often used interchangeably with black, but African Americans specifically emphasize the historical and cultural ties to the United States. Now, isn't that what FBA is supposed to do too? Isn't it the same thing? So it's basically just changing African American to FBA, but then just move Africa and then you just replace it with the slave plantation. You know what I mean? Babies of slaves, children of slaves. You follow what I'm saying? So this is one of them things that the government has been working on for years and years and years and years to keep the people of African descent discombobulated, keep them confused, keep them outside of their natural power when they connect. And you ain't got to go to Africa. You ain't got to move to Africa. All you have to do is understand the power of the source from which you came, and then you can command that power. But that's the problem. If you can be confused as to the source in which your origin derives from, then you can be confused about anything else. So this is what this confusion is all about. They've been doing this since the inception of slavery, when they didn't want people to read. You know what I'm saying? When they didn't want people to and some of the times when they didn't want people to read, they really wanted them to read to indoctrinate them with the Bible from a European perspective, so they can be dominated even further, and they can carry it on and teach their children how to be docile and grab the docile parts out the Bible, and the strong parts, they stay away from that. And then they teach their children to be docile. But to my point, all of these terms, whenever a new term that doesn't have origin and a long history, there should always be a problem. There should be a problem. Someone should question it. Family, listen, that's right. And that's right. And this ain't a shameless plug. This is a plug that I really would love for you to check out if you get a chance. I don't have it. I'm releasing a book soon, right? And this book is actually called More Don't Mean Black, right? More Don't Mean Black. And more don't mean black, and black is not a nationality. And once and for all, I go real heavy. I go real heavy on the subject matter of more don't mean black, because me as a Moorish American has always, when I came on the scene, people always try to make it look like Moors, and Moors try to demonize what black is, and people are using the term black, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm really educating people on what the term black is, what is the origin of the term black, but more importantly, I'm educating people on the history of the term Moor, and it doesn't mean black at all. And so if I think I got the link pinned in here, and let me just share this with you. I got to share this with you since I'm talking about African American, right? So there's only going to be 50 copies coming out for the first thing. So this is, the link is on the top, but it's talking about nationality is a process that's deeply embedded in the rule of law and international norms. No country on earth has ever existed that offered naturalization into a racial category. One cannot become black through paperwork, nor can one apply for a passport and trace their lineage from a so-called black nation. Never in history has there ever existed a department of black state or black flag to represent a nation state under the international law, representing black as a sovereign political power. So this is the book that I'm writing. It's already done. I'm going to be pushing 50 copies and see what the response is. Once I get the 50 copies gone, then I'll decide if I want to go back to the publishing table. I'm taking my shot at publishing some books that you can source, just like the stuff that I do here on Moorish World TV. You'll be actually able to source. And one of the most controversial topics that I found myself debunking is more don't mean black. It just doesn't mean black, and I trace the term more to the original origin of where it comes from. You know what I mean? To the original, the first time it entered into language. You follow what I'm saying? I traces it to that. So with that being said, the link is there. I hope you will support it. And let me tell you something. This book here, I'm going to make sure that this get not only in libraries, but I'm going to make sure it get in schools, because this book is definitely well researched, well sourced, and people can be able to look at it, and I would want someone try to debunk it. It can't be debunked. It can't be debunked. But it is what it is. But anyway, these terms is misnomers that does not connect us to anything. It does not connect us to anything, and that's the problem with our people. Our people are looking for connections. You follow what I'm saying? They're looking for connections, and these connections are dead ends. When you look at foundational Black Americans or ADOS and all of these things, what you'll find is these are dead end streets. These are dead end streets. You know what I'm saying? So there's the link for the pre-order book. If you are able to, please pre-order the book. Help your brother out so I don't have to bang nails and I can focus on exposing these frauds. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of banging that. And if you call in the line, I'm going to open the line up in a minute. I see calls coming through the line. Stand by. I'm going to open the line up in a minute. Stand by. Let me get the show rolling a little bit. Let me get the show rolling. I got you. I definitely got you. Don't worry about it. I might call you back. So anyway, let me get back to the term African American, that these brothers want to try to blame Jesse. They want to blame Jesse and that, oh, Jesse owned African American family. This is how deep my research is, right? And I want you to put a 7 in the air because the book that I'm about to put out, it has this same type of quality research. So let me share something with you. Let me say, Hotep, Brother Shaka, let me share something with you about my research. Jesse was not the first one to speak the term African American. In 1782, sermon published in Philadelphia, the sermon whose only surviving copy is at Harvard Houghton Library, was titled A Sermon on the Capture of Lord Cornwallis. The title page of the pamphlet includes the byline, by an African American. So the term actually predates Jesse Jackson, and this is the emphatic term. It actually predates Jesse Jackson. You feel what I'm saying? It actually predates Jesse Jackson. So now we can bury that. This is how my research goes. This is how Moochie research goes. So now we can bury that Jesse Jackson made it popular. Jesse Jackson was the voice of the confusion, as we know. Press 7 if you see that, family. Now, this is research. 1782. April 1782. And that's the exact term. It's not Afro-American. It's not African-American. It's African-American, printed in 1782. This is the type of research I do. I mean, this is what it came. This is what I came. This is what I come to do. This is what I come to do. So that's how my research, I mean, this is how my research is. And my books are the same exact way. You know what I mean? You are going to be able to search that yourself. You can look this up and you can search it yourself. You know what I mean? With that being said, family, so if you're interested in understanding anything about Moorish, from a Tahaka Bay perspective, I'm going to tell you right now. Let me listen to this, family. I'm going to tell you right now, and then I'm going to move on. I haven't found a Moorish American that can publish a book that I can stand on and say I rock with it, because of the pseudo-ness that have come through a lot of Moorish scholars, so to say. I can't vouch for none. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that I'm the end all be all. I just been around 30 years and I can't find one that I can vouch for, where everyday individual that's seeking understanding about what this thing called Moorish is, this thing with black and this thing with nationality is. I haven't found one that I can say I will give this to my buddy Joey. Joey, check this out, Joey. Hey, Barber, here, Barb. Check this out, Barb. I haven't found one yet. I would love to find one, but I haven't found one yet. So, since I haven't found one, in the words of Garvey, when Garvey came to America, he said he wanted to know the men, and I'm paraphrasing, where are the men of power? Where are the men of prestige? Where are the men of noble? Where is the kings? He said, since I can't find them, where's the queens? Since I can't find them, I will help to create it. And since I can't find something that is standard on Moorish science that I can stand on and stand with, then I must put my pen to the paper and let people critique my work that I put down. So thank you for your support. If you purchase the book, you get the pre-order. But after 50, if I can get 50, then I know there's an interest. If I can't get 50, then I can't be putting all this work in. I'm gonna just go ahead and retire putting roof on houses or something. You know what I'm talking about? But let me get to this. At the end of the day, for all those that was talking about Jesse Jackson that owned FBA family, the owner of Foundational Black Americans is very, very clear. And we're gonna smash it right now. Listen, and I'm gonna show you it's very, very clear. Listen. This is the owner of Foundational Black Americans family. Class 35 on-tail retail store services featuring books, electronic clothing, and flags association services, namely promoting awareness of Black American history, not foundational Black American history. Hold up. Let me be clear. Hold up. Let me see. I need to get me a marker so y'all can see this. You know what I mean? I need to get me a marker so y'all can see this. Hold up. This is of Black American history to Black Americans, not to foundational Black Americans. Y'all see the grift? Promoting public awareness and interest of Black Americans Association services, namely promoting public awareness and interest of Black Americans. Notice how that in public the term is foundational Black American, foundational Black American, foundational Black Americans. But when it comes to legalities, it's Black American again. Press 7 if you get what I'm saying. If you are so convinced that, for instance, me being a Moorish American is not popular in legal circles and in whether it's the hospital, whether it's schools, it don't matter to me. That's who I am. It is what it is. You don't get to name me. I self-identify myself. Wherever I go, that's just what it is. You don't like it, that's your problem. Fix yourself. But that's who I am, right? So, but you notice that it's always a compromise when it comes to FBA or ADOS. Always a compromise. You know what I mean? Look at this. Always a compromise. Providing, look, hold up. Providing a website featuring information on historical figures, providing a website that features information, instructions on Black American culture, providing a website featuring non-downloadable photographs in the field of Black Americans, organizing live events in nature of conventions in the field of history, Black history, not foundational Black American history, Black history, and Black American culture for cultural educational purposes, educational and entertainment services, namely providing live motivational and educational speakers. So this is what foundational Black American is. Now, hold up. We just getting started. Do y'all want me to answer some lines, family? I got some calls coming in. Should I answer the lines or are they just trying to stop this presentation? Or let me go some more with the presentation. What you want me to do? Go a little bit more with the presentation? Because I got some more to go. Because I want to show y'all some good stuff. You know what I mean? Now, let's go with it. Listen to this. When you say that someone does not own FBA, you are sorely mistaken. Because according to this document, let it be known that I, Tariq Nasheed, is the rightful owner and user of Foundational Black American. Let it be known. Y'all see what it says? Who owns Foundational Black Americans? Let it be known. Don't tell me don't nobody own Foundational Black Americans again. It's owned. The lineage is not real, but the term that's called the lineage is owned. The owner and the user of Hidden History Museum, I have continually used said trademarks since January 19. So foundational Black Americans, your birth date is January 19. All right? That's your birth date. That's your birth date. Undetermined Universe Live. You say, I don't believe in out of Africa theory. Brother, I would love to have a conversation with you if you will open up your camera and talk to me one day. Email me at tahagabay@gmail.com. I would love to hear what your theory is. Not as a debate, not as a confrontation, but I would love to hear your theory. I'm very interested in hearing someone's theory. All right? Connection to my goods and services. Listen, furthermore, let it be known. What is FBA all about, family? Goods and services. That's what FBA is all about. FBA is all about what? Goods and services. It's an awareness of Black Americans. But that's what it's all about. Listen what it says. Furthermore, let it be known that the website, Hidden History Museum, all of this, which filings are not my filings. Now listen, were done without my permission. You know what he's talking about? He's talking about Michi X. You follow me? Michi X created websites and then followed through with trademarks, and he actually sent information to the trademark place to try to battle Michi X about that, right? Listen, as it is hereby obvious, the foundational Black Americans marks, Hidden History Museum marks, and my marks have been used exclusively by me and exclusively to designate the source of my goods and services. To be myself, Tariq Nasheed, as the sole owner. Family, FBA, I will tell you once again what the hustle looks like. The hustle looks like you promoting it, you, the advertiser, and he markets the goods and services. Do you understand now, FBA, what the hustle is? The hustle is to get you to believe that FBA is an identifying social status when in fact it has no power whatsoever. Somebody say, what's wrong with Tariq getting paid off of something he's created? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But to project, listen, but to project that it's about a lineage, that's the problem. To project that it's about reparations, that's the problem. To project that you're going to build this grandiose utopia of a museum, that's the problem. The problem is never someone creating something and get paid. You should get paid for what you create, but you don't get paid at the expense of the ignorant of the people. You don't do that. And you're claiming that this is about social advancement. Let's be clear. This is not about social advancement is the point. I mean, this is not about social advancement. That's the point. The point is never about creating something and getting paid. That's not the point. If I create something, I want to get paid. I just wrote a book. Do I want to get paid? Of course I do. Of course I do. But not at the expense of the ignorance of people. And see, the thing is about The thing is about that it's implying that we need to delineate in order for what? Delineate, then what? I've asked many people that question and they can't answer the question. But in fact, let me tell you something. That's all an illusion. That's all an illusion. Because in reality, we have been delineated. What I mean by that? Although we go to Jamaican restaurants, although we eat tacos, although we eat spaghetti, majority of us, when we go home, we go around those who have our experience. We go around those that speak the slang, the King's English that we speak, that dress like we dress, and things that are relatable. We've been delineated. I mean, we've been did that. But we didn't delineate in the sense to be disrespectful to my brother who has experienced the same trauma and oppression, but he was dropped at the boat in Jamaica. We don't delineate in the sense where we disrespect our Haitian brother, our Puerto Rican brother, our name one, Brazilian brother, but they got the same experience. But we know good and well in America, when our swag is our swag, our style is our style. Listen, you know good and well back in the 90s, especially in New York, back in the 90s, when the yellow cab, gypsy cabs pull up with the funky underarm African guy, y'all know, and I'm not being disrespectful, you know good and well we clowned them. You know, we good and well we clowned them. And on the flip side, when we clowned him, you know what I mean, they was talking and clowning us. But it never was vicious to make it into a social construct where it was war against oppressed people, as that was instigated and always instigated by the powers that be. We was just making fun. Today, it's now a social experiment. You know what I mean? And now it's a social experiment to keep us at each other's throat in a vicious cycle. And while we're at each other's throat in a vicious cycle, no matter where we're from on the planet, we're at each other's throat, and the powers that be continue to dominate everybody. That's the problem. And so anyone who is instrumental in instigating this being at each other's throat. But the problem, let me see, one of the problems with being at each other's throat, it wouldn't be that bad, right? It wouldn't be that bad if, listen, it wouldn't be that bad if they were doing the same thing to European immigrants. Then at least I could say, okay, I get it. But they don't talk about European immigrants. You don't see one video criticizing the people being ushered in from the Ukraine over here. And I'm talking about from the people that will criticize our Jamaican brothers and sisters, that will criticize our Haitian brothers and sisters, that will criticize our people from Puerto Rico, or even those coming from Mexico. You would never hear these same people criticize the people that came in from the Ukraine. You would never hear them criticize the people that came in from South Africa, the Europeans that came in from South Africa. You would never hear them say that. So that's how you know that it's a social experiment that has been going on for some time now. That's how we know. That's how we know. Undetermined Universe Live, you can email me at talkabay@gmail.com. You're welcome to come on the show. Looks like we're going to have to bring a moderator with you. We're going to have to bring a moderator with you because you chatty, you chatty catty. Good goodness gracious. Let me all due respect. Send me an email. You're welcome to come on. But anyway, let me go to the next thing. Now, if you don't know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know that this identification marker of FBA is owned by one individual. All right? This is not a group collective thing. It's one individual, one individual. Feel what I'm saying? That's one individual. You feel me? So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is that when people promote by saying, I'm hearing a lot of people, they sound crazy though. You know how it sounds real crazy though? When there's people that you used to look up to, and like they say, yeah, we FBA. I'm like, bro, I thought you was more intelligent than that. I thought you was more intelligent than that. Like when I first heard Lord Jamal say that, I was like, huh? Somebody said, Jacob, so you're Pan-African. Let me explain what I am. I am pro-us. Wherever you find us, I want to find a way to coexist with us. But I still want to independently address the problems that I face here in America from the American experience that's unique to us here in America. If that makes sense. But I'm not going to sit up there and battle somebody because he was born in Nigeria and he's in America trying to eat. I'm not going to sit up here and battle with somebody who was born in Mexico and came over here to try to eat. I'm not going to battle that. What am I going to battle that for? I'm too busy. I don't have time to battle that. I'm too busy. Listen, we talk all of this stuff, right? We've been over here all of this time, right? But let me tell you something. Name an independent mall that we own. Name an independent 100-mile radius of property that we own and operate by us, for us, getting the food out the ground, getting the water out the ground. Name one. I'm too busy trying to motivate us to do that, to be fighting with some other people who also been oppressed by the same on hand of oppression in other places and try to come over here and eat. I don't believe, listen to what I'm saying. I don't believe that someone can take the food out your mouth unless you keep on running your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Shut your mouth and build something for yourself. Like, that is the weakest argument in the world. They're taking our jobs. You're a slave. You want somebody to give you a job. You have to try to create a job. See, the system in America and European systems, they put us in school and they take us through all of these rigorous trainings to get all of these pieces of papers just so we can work for them. When you got foreigners come over here, they bypass all of that. They'll cut your grass, they'll throw your melons, they'll pick your cherries, they'll pick your strawberries, they do whatever it takes. They'll live in the houses and we'll laugh at them because it's 100 of them in there, and then 10 years later, all of them then got the whole neighborhood in bad houses. You know what I'm saying? And we still talking crazy. So we can't blame someone that's trying to eat. When are we going to be hungry enough to get out there and ask somebody, don't give me nothing, just get out my way and I get it myself? When are we going to do that? That's the objective. See, when one started using the excuse that is foreigners taking that which is yours, that means that you don't have enough ingenuity to compete with those slicksters, if that's what you want to call them, or compete with the government who's also giving those foreigners or immigrants yours. Why are you mad at the immigrant? Why don't you get mad at the government for allowing these things to take place? But you won't redress the government because you say politics is fake. Everything is politics. Everything is politics. You will get mad at the one that is receiving the food stamps from the government, but you won't say nothing to the government. That's hypocrisy at best. Don't worry about the one that's receiving it. You better worry about the one that's giving your stuff away. You see, this is where the confusion lies. The shame and the glory has been misplaced. You should be shameful to say that they're giving them their job. They're giving us our jobs. A grown man need a grown man to give them a job in 2025? Are you serious? A grown man? Now listen, I think everybody that has an expertise that can trade their time for work, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. If you got an expertise and somebody want to trade you some money for your expertise, then you make that trade. But by any means necessary, if you got an expertise, then you go and express your expertise in other areas. Nobody got to give you nothing. Nobody got to give you nothing. And that's what we got to wake up as a people. Nobody can take nothing from you. Oh, they giving them our jobs. What is our job? The only job that's guaranteed to you is the job that you create. That's it. That's the only guaranteed job you got in this world, is the job that you create. Because at any given moment, the job that somebody gives you, there may be a ceiling to it. At any given moment, the job that somebody gives you is the job that they created for themselves. And now you're just a Rotarian processed slave. You're a Rotarian processed slave. You're just going down around the carousel. And so let me bring it back to what I'm talking about, family. At the end of the day, I just wanted to share with you that FBA, it is what it is. And let me show you, I want to share this with you. Let me share this with you. As we know, it's about online goods and services, et cetera, and even to protect this, right? Even to protect this FBA thing, Mr. Nasheed rose when he was going back and forth with Michi X. This is what he did. He sent the patent people evidence that Michi X was trying to use his FBA. You feel what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So somebody said, you took Tariq to court. Man, Tariq been taking people to court for years. Look what he do. Look what he do. He gets his foreign lawyer. He gets his foreign lawyer to challenge Michi X with evidence. Put together a whole package to put insurance on this FBA. You know what I mean? To put insurance on it. I got it. I know what it is. I know what it is. Now, so you can't tell me. Now, if you own something, don't you protect it like it's yours? Huh? Huh? Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
In Springfield.
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. FBA, you've been played. You've been played. That's it. You are free advertisement. That's all you are. You're a free advertisement. Listen. Even for, he went through the whole process. Let me show you how this worked, family. I told you I'm gonna educate you. I got about 15, 20 more minutes. Let me show you how this worked, right? He went through the whole process of pushing and owning FBA. So what they asked him, just like you get a name change, you have to publish it in the newspaper, or you're about to get married, you have to publish it. Watch this, family. Pay close attention to this. So he publishes, feel me? So he publishes this foundational Black American, just in case, because you got to have, in case people want to dispute it. He published it in a news website called News One. News One. Now let me hip you to what News One is. Don't go nowhere, family. Don't go nowhere. Moochie Bear's the finest when it comes to this type of research. Let me hip you to this. Let me put you on. All right. So boom. Here we go. Here we go. So this is News One, about us. News One is your destination for news and information. Hold up. Let me go back. Hold on. I'm moving too fast. Let me go back real quick. That's what I need to do. I need to go back. Give me 1 second. I need to go back. Let me let me pause this for 1 second. I need to go. I want to show you something real quick, because for all those naysayers that be saying that, man, no, man, Tariq don't own this, and I keep telling people that he has to define it. If he define it, he owns it. It is what it is. Here you go. Here's the article. Here's the article where he tells you exactly what it is. This is what he had to publish it. This is what he had to do to publish, so y'all would know what it is. Without Tariq Nasheed, you don't know what it is, FBA. You have no clue, but I'm going to help you out. And this is the thing. He writes this thing in third person, it appears, allegedly, because this is the article that he submitted it to show that it was. See, listen, let me finish. Hold on, let me explain what I'm trying to say. In order to make this legitimate from the Trademark Patent Office, he has to publish an article, and one would have to contest it. And if one doesn't contest it, then that process moves forward. But he has to publish an article. But look how clever this person writes in third person. And the name is said Sanjay Jurek. Listen to this. Over the last year, you may have seen a phrase, foundational black Americans, tossed around the internet thanks to the world #1 race baiter, Tariq Nasheed. In January, during Twitter Spaces discussion, the controversial, where did it start? On Twitter. On Twitter. The controversial media personality sent the buzzword trending when he argued that the black Americans were the originators of the United States. Since then, the polarizing author and documentarian belief has attracted millions of supporters from the black community, many of whom claim that they identify as foundational black Americans. But what does that mean exactly? Now listen, family, listen, if you get married, you have to submit an article. This is the article that was submitted for the ownership of this term. According to the official FBA website, Foundational Black, this is the cunningest thing. This is cunning, boy. According to the official FBA website, Foundational Black Americans are descendants of black slaves who built the United States from scratch. Followers of the ideology, however, believe that the origins and history of the foundational black Americans did not begin at the start of slavery in the early 1600s. They strongly believe that FBA settled in North America in 1526 when they were allegedly brought over from the Caribbean by a colonizer named Lucas Vasquez. I bet you most FBAs don't even know their own history. That's really made up and centered around making this thing reasonably believable. You know what I mean? It says Alion and 600 of his men settled on what would later become South Carolina and Georgia coast, but they weren't there for long. The enslaved black captives organized a successful rebellion against the Spanish colonizers, ultimately forcing them to retreat. Now, let me rewind real quick, and this shows you what a 6th grade education can do for you. Listen to this. Listen closely to this. It says, the followers, I'm going to read it slow. The followers of the ideology believe that the origins and the history of foundational black Americans did not start of slavery in the early 1600s. They saying that it didn't start with slavery in the 1600s, but it started with slavery in the 1500s. What difference does it make if you started in slavery in the 1500s or in the 1600s? Just because you go back to an earlier period of slavery, that is a significant point to make? Listen to what it said. They don't believe that. I see if you say, they don't believe that their history start with slavery in the 1600s. They believe that they were free in the 1500s. They just moved the timeline back to slave. What the world? See how goofy this is? They moved the timeline back. Man, listen, I don't think y'all hear me. I got to show y'all one more time because I don't think y'all hear me. This is what 6th grade education do for people. Listen, make it make sense. Listen. They believe that the origin of history of foundational black Americans did not begin at the start of slavery in the 1600s. They strongly believe that FBA settled in North America in 1500s when they was allegedly brought over from the Caribbean by a colonized what? Allion and 600 of his men settled would later become South Carolina and Georgia coast, but they weren't there long. The enslaved black captives, see what I'm talking about, man? See what I'm talking about, man? This is like a comic book. But FBAs love it. They love it. This is their history. Now listen, when you pay close attention, FBAs, they don't know what a flag is about FBA until it's created. Until they created it. FBA historians, who are FBA historians, believe that the liberated black people integrated into local American tribes in the region and formed their own community culture as a reset. Who is the FBA historians? But this is the article that was put forth. And ain't nobody got no time to challenge this stuff, so they just let it ride. The pride and honor amongst FBA community are commemorated through a national maroon flag. That flag has been changed. Now listen, if you tell me that this man is not the leader, but he got a flag that's a national flag. If it's a national flag, that would imply there's a national leadership, a national movement, whether one speak it or not. A national flag represents people. So I'm getting to the point for FBAs. FBAs, that is your young brother daddy. That is your young brother daddy. A national flag? There is not a flag on the planet Earth that you call a national flag that don't represent a people. Not one. Not one. And that national flag that represent a people has a leader. And in this sense, this flag was created by the leader, FBA. That is your young brother daddy. It's your young brother daddy. It is. Now listen to this. yeah. Man, you got old men. You got old men and old women talking about, I don't know who created it, but if he did create it, so what? I'm FBA. That means he sunned them. He played them, he sunned them. They're their young brother daddy. He younger than them. That's their brother, but it's really his daddy. It's a young brother daddy. That's what it is. I mean, listen. It says, pride and honor. I ain't even got to read no more about that. Yeah, I ain't got to read no more about that. The FBA flags features 5 stars, which was designated to represent 5 primary locations where maroon societies was. All of this was established by the man that they say is not a leader. I mean, everyone. You know what I mean? And so look. So I'm gonna stop right there, right? Because I want to share something with you real quick. Let me flip this real quick and go in another direction real quick. So at the end of the day, News 1. And watch this, family. This is the game that they play. This is the game that they play. Now watch this. This is true research right here. You know, we're just playing around, but this is really something that you can look up yourself. You know what I mean? This is something you can look up yourself. Look at News One. So where he published the article at was news1.com. Now, because I've done research on these janky little news things, and they're usually just propaganda trains. They're usually just propaganda trains in order to get propaganda out and to project. You know what I mean? It's these websites that allow people to post anything unchecked. And so this is News One. Check it out. News One is your destination for news and information for and about blacks in America. Listen to this. News1.com is your destination for the news and information for blacks in America. With original story, diverse opinions, photos, videos, and polls. News One is dedicated to deepening our audience understanding of the current events and their impact on black lives. But this seemed to be allegedly a propaganda network, right? And I'm gonna show you how I know. When you look at some of the research on News One, it said these media sources are moderately to strongly biased towards liberal causes through the story selection and political affiliation. So in 2022, when this article was published, it was a study done said that this website, they may utilize strong loaded wording that attempts to influence an audience by using appeal to emotions and stereotypes. Don't that fit? Don't that fit? Don't that fit? Now, although they talking about liberal, but it fits the bill. It fits the bill. It fits the bill. Listen to what it says. It says, let me shrink it down just a little bit. Don't it fit the bill? It says this website uses an attempt to influence an audience by using appeal to emotion and stereotypes. Ain't that typical FBA? So of course he would post it right there. Of course he would post it right there. Now, peep this. When you go through the website, if you go there today or tomorrow, they got all sorts of stories on there, right? They got all sorts of stories on there. And for what they say that the website is dedicated to, it's not so much of what they said about for black people, because you see on here that they're pushing agendas, and they got all sorts of people on here and pushing these agendas if you go to the site. So I wondered, how did this go from, and it's still up there that this is predominantly a news source about us, for us, and I wanted to know, was it by us? So I found out that News One was actually owned by Ion Media. And then I found out that Ion Media, hold on one second, check this out, family. I found out that Ion Media was owned by the EW Scripps company, right? Because I wonder why people will allow misinformation just flow the way that it does. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I found out that the EW Scripps company, you know what I mean? And then from the EW Scripps company, I said, hold up. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. I looked at the EW Scripps company, right? And it said EW Scripps company owned about 65 broadcast news stations across the country, and has administrated national spelling bee since 1941. Publicly traded Scripps Network Interactive, which owned Family Cable TV Holdings and sold to Discovery in 2017 for $14.6 billion. Now, hold up. Now, why is this important? Because whoever controlled the media can control the narrative. You know what I mean? So I looked it up again. You know what I mean? Whoever controlled the media can control the narrative. The EW Scripps company is a public trading company, but is largely controlled by the Scripps family. You follow me? Through a combination of Scripps Trust and voting agreement involving around 70 family members. The Scripps Trust own significant portion of the company Class A and common voting shares. Pay close attention, family. Pay close attention, family. This is not only entertainment, this is edutainment. Pay close attention, family. Now, when you look at the Scripps family chain, here you go. So when you look at propaganda coming through news media, all you got to do is trace it to the source. You trace it to the source. What was Edward Willis Scripps believing in 1878? And why is bad information flowing through a news network that's not owned by us? This is what I'm talking about. You cannot complain that immigrants are taking this and immigrants are taking that when there are at the base of propaganda is a hand that you don't see. And so these people that look like us and making all these complaints and making all of these uproars, they are actually controlled. Many of them are controlled workers for those who want to keep us in the dark. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep us in the dark. It is what it is. And these people say, listen, at the end of the day, I'd rather do this. I would rather do this than to go and drive a backhoe. I would rather do this than to drive a forklift. I would rather do this than sit at a counter with my own business. I would rather do this than to do that. And so they get paid to push propaganda, and they push propaganda through all of these prearranged networks that has no checks and balances, because the shell companies are covered for the actual ownership that's way down the line, and nobody's going to take time to look it up. You know what I mean? But hey, I took time to look it up, and at the end of the day, yes, FBA, everything that you see is right and exact. Even FBA, even trademark, and on the website, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Can you believe that? So Prophet Noble Drew Ali, FBA too. Look at that. Look at that on the application. On the application. This is how you know. Listen. He got mad at me and then called Prophet Noble Drew Ali every name in the book. Look, this is what he filed with the Trademark Commission right here. See, application in the corner right there, documents description. This is what he filed. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right there. You see it? You see it? You see what I'm talking about? Look, I'm not playing. There you go. There you go. Document application. I got the whole document. I got everything. You see? And then put Prophet Noble Drew Ali within the filing. With that being said, family, I appreciate y'all joining me tonight, family. Hey, family, let me ask y'all a question. How often should I be going live? What y'all think, man? I've been busy lately, man. If y'all, hopefully y'all will support my book, family. Hopefully y'all will support my book. Let me read some of the excerpts from it. Let me read. So this is a part of it right here. When we say Moor once meant king, we're not simply engaging in rhetoric. We are restoring historical memory. The term Moor once invoked images of empires, crowns, architecture, astronomy, literature, and statecraft. And it is only by understanding this deeper meaning that we can begin to reclaim a true national identity distinct from racial constructs. This book is amazing, family. This book is amazing, family, and I would love for you to get a copy of it. It's just under 200 pages because I know we are in the microwave age, and because of this microwave age, I want to make sure that when I put out part 2, you'll be just as excited to go and check it out. Fam, let me get this phone, man. I'm gonna get one phone call tonight. Let's see what I can do. Let me see if I can find the phone. I'm going to get one phone tonight. Let me get one tonight. This guy be calling the whole night. Let me see if I can get one call tonight. I'm going to get one tonight. I think this the guy that's been calling all night. Let me get one tonight, fam. Let me get one tonight. Can y'all hear that? Press 7 if y'all can hear that.
Yo, what's happening, homie?
Peace, brother. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? I'm all right.
Brother, you been calling all night, brother. I got you on the line. What you got for me?
Yo, bro, I've been calling all night, man, because I'm trying to get you to see that one man don't define a whole group of people, bro, and you trying to use this one man. Yeah,
Hey, brother,
you hear me?
Yeah. Cut off your thing in the back. You can hear
Ah,
me?
you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yes, brother. You gotta cut. Check.
You hear me?
Yeah, brother. You gotta cut off the sound in the back.
All right. Hold on. Yeah, I can hear you good.
All right, but you got to just cut off your background thing so I can hear you. We got to talk. Don't worry about what's going on in the show. Just tell me what you got. Talk to me.
All right. First of all, man, Tariq don't define nothing for a whole bunch of people, man, that might be, following. They're not people that are basically following FBA. People are just distinguishing themselves from and separating themselves from other people. Now, I understand that the Moors, they believe, in unity with a whole bunch of other groups. As far as New York, you saying that, Caribbean people in New York, would joke with us and all of that. Well, I'm a New Yorker, and I could tell you, man, in the 80s, man, when that mass migration came, they ain't come with no jokes. They came with hatred in their heart, a lot of them. And then some of them was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's married a Caribbean person. You dig where I'm coming from? He was a Caribbean man.
Brother,
and
can I ask
hold
you?
up. Now, can I say something real quick, bro?
Yeah,
Like
I wanted to touch that thought, though, but go ahead.
In any event, right, a lot of the delineation is a reaction. Like I keep saying, Adolf's is a reaction, FBA is a reaction, Black Americans, that was a reaction because a lot of these groups came over here and we thought they was cool. We thought that was our people. But at the end of the day, they wasn't a lot of them turned out to be bad. They just was no good. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the government let the ones that was no good over here, you know what I'm saying, to be around us. You talking about people like the Shallow Posse, groups like that, gangs like that. They brought gangs in our neighborhood, bro. They the ones that started busting them MAC-10s off indiscriminately and killing brothers in the street. You know what I'm saying? And they just brought a whole different standard and dexterity towards what was going on. And we allowed it to go on for years. But these younger brothers, they caught on to it. And they said, hold on now. Enough of that Jamaican stuff and enough of this and we Yankees and we this and that and we ain't doing this and we supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? It was a big fight in New York with Caribbeans. It was a big fight with Latinos on Rikers Island. They go in the street. But what I'm saying is we can't be unified with everybody.
Bro, listen. When we speaking about unity, we're not speaking about uniformity. Do you know the difference between uniform?
Of course, I know the difference between.
Okay.
No, bro, I don't want to go. I don't want to go into. There is a difference between unity and uniformity.
Let me finish. I want to ask a few questions and then I want to elaborate.
You want to ask?
Yeah. I want to ask you a few questions, then I'm gonna elaborate.
Could I ask you a question too?
Sure. Come on.
Let me ask you something. You ever been in prison?
Absolutely.
Now you know, right? I just want to say this to get this off right there. You know, like, you got the Latinos in one part of the yard, you got the blacks on one part of the yard.
I didn't come up in that type of environment. I came up, you had to hold your own. It was what it was. No,
what I'm saying is this. I came up before you. I think I'm a little older than you. I heard you like 50, 55.
Yeah,
but anyway, right?
In my environment where I came up in, it wasn't like
that. Yeah, you
that.
From Baltimore.
Yeah,
you from Baltimore.
You had to hold your own. That was it.
It's all good. In my environment, you had to hold your own too. You shot the 5. We,
that was it.
New York, we was standing. But any event, right? When you in a situation, right? And although, like, if my black brother is wrong, he got something against, and he's going at it with these Spanish people, right? We never gonna let them do nothing to him.
Okay,
we gonna make sure he all right.
I got you.
And we gonna make sure that they don't do nothing. So when you took the side of,
you're not in jail.
Hold on, all right. Hold on. Yo, bro, when you took the side of Fat Joe,
you're not in
when
jail,
you took, hold up, I understand that. I'm just saying, jail is just nothing but a smaller society in a society.
Let me ask you a question now, bro.
I'm gonna let you answer. I'm gonna let you ask me that question. I'm just saying though, when you took the side of Fat Joe, you know what you did. You know how you look towards a lot of us.
I don't care how I look, brother. That's the problem.
Brother,
I care about truth. I care about truth.
Truth, you gotta care about your kind, bro.
I don't
That's
care
the way
about
of the world.
bro. I don't care about what you think of me. I care about truth. Now let me talk.
It's not about what
Brother,
we think. Because if we go to war, all right. Ask me the question.
Next caller, family. Let me say this. What I was going to ask him was the same people that instigates the shower posse, the same people that instigates this friction is the same people, oh my bad, I turned my mic down, is the same people that actually instigated all of this psychosomatic behavior. You follow what I'm saying? So, of course, if I'm in an environment and I'm with my squad over here, and then it's a squad over there, I'm rocking with my squad regardless. But we're not in jail, Damon. Damon, we're not in jail. That's one thing for sure and two things for certain. Now, we're in society. And being in society, it allows us to make decisions in society. And those decisions is and should be predicated upon trying to coexist with those who have the same oppression on their neck that we have on our neck with a common oppressor. That's only the intelligent thing to do. Because while you are focusing on this person being Puerto Rican and this person being Haitian and this person being Jamaican, the oppressive system is focusing on the next 100 years to keep you doing that same repetitive destructive behavior. When in fact, you should be focusing on the system that created the behavior. You're focusing on the wrong thing. So the same thing when this brother say, our thing was a reaction. It was a reaction. Why haven't the reaction been, let's build our own town? Why haven't the reaction been, let's go off into the desert like the mob did and build our own city? Why haven't the reaction been, why don't we build our own car here in America, by us, for us? Let's get an old Ford plant and build our own car. Why hasn't the reaction been, let's build our own plane? Why hasn't where's these reactions at? Why is the reaction always is founded on some type of destructive response? Why hasn't been, let us separate ourselves in the desert and drill our own oil? Let's drill our own water. Let's plant. Why is the reaction always centered around self-destruction? You follow what I'm saying? Why is it? So that's what I'm saying. So that's mental slavery at its best. That every time you tell me that a reaction, every time you tell me that it's a reaction to Caribbeans, it's a reaction to Haitians, it's a reaction to Africans, but you don't have no reaction to Europeans. You don't have no reaction to imperialism. You don't have no reaction to bringing in South Africans from South Africa in here. You don't have no reaction to that, but you have reaction to someone being Puerto Rican. Somebody said we did. See, this is the soft stuff. We did. They burned it down. They burnt down several towns. So I'm just going to say I'm delineating from Haitians. You see how crazy you sound, Godspeed? Godspeed says, we did. They burned it down several times. So I'm just going to focus on Haitians and Puerto Ricans. So I'm gonna focus on Jamaicans, because every time we build a town, Europeans burn it down. So I'm gonna spend my time on the internet talking about Haitians and Mexicans. They taking that stuff from us. No, you may not be soft, Black Speed, but that is a chump statement. That's a chump statement. You have to admit yourself. I don't know you, Godspeed. I just know your name is Godspeed. But that's a chump statement. They burnt it down. So what? Build it again. Set up a system that when one goes, one take the place. So what? Just like that soft stuff that people say, we ain't got no leader. We ain't got no leader. That's that weird stuff right there. We ain't got no leader stuff. They say that because they don't have a system that if one leader goes, then the other leader should jump in place. If one leader goes, then the other leader should be jumping into place. But so the answer is put a system in place that would survive for the next 1,000 years. The answer is they burnt it down. That ain't the answer. That's never the answer. That's never the answer. They killed our leaders. So what? That means you have to be more creative. That means you have to show more ingenuity. That means you have to get yourself a system together that will survive the next 1,000 years. And if you're not that intelligent, that means you got a mind of a pea, and the only thing you're going to focus on is fighting one another. That's it. And they know that because you have not proven that you are ready to detach yourself. And the only thing that you'll be ready to do is attack one another, fight one another, whether it's a Caribbean, and even them too. If that applies to a brother from Nigeria that wishes to use those stereotypical persuasive motions and attack us, that goes for them too. But at the end of the day, when you saying that ADOS is a reaction, when you say that FBA is a reaction, my question is, where is the reaction to go into the desert and build your own town? Go into I wish I had the finance and the people with the know-how to do it. I definitely would be on it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned late. But I'm still here and I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? All of this mountain range, and when you go into, like, I live in Baltimore, but when you go through Pennsylvania, man, it's just miles and miles, and you can drive for hours through the mountains. Just free open range, free open mountains for hours. Why ain't the reaction to build something like that? I mean, why? And FBA is not a lineage. FBA is not a lineage. It's not a lineage. Do you know, can you define lineage? I bet you can't define lineage. I bet you can't define lineage. I bet if lineage is based on bloodline, how many of these people took a DNA test to the how many people took a DNA test to the plantation? I'm pretty sure many of y'all are going to find yourself there. But how many people took the DNA test to the plantation? Huh? Why haven't Marcus, you know what the guy said that called in earlier? You know, did you hear what he said when he called in earlier? He said, don't nobody follow Tariq. Don't nobody follow Tariq. We just do our own thing. He doesn't define with FBA. He didn't even listen that I just read the definition of FBA as prescribed by Tariq Nasheed. So Brooklyn G Baby say a place of origin. Lineage is not about the plantation is your place of origin. The plantation is not your place of origin. Your place of origin is not coming over here on what he call it? The slave people. What he said, the Voyager was the guy name. Alion Lucas Vasquez. That's your origin. So you telling me? Hold up. Let me see if G Baby there. G Baby. Let me bring it up here real quick. Where we at? Where we going at? I'm trying to find my window. There it is. I can't. Hold up. That didn't move my window for me. But there it is. Bam. All right. So look, right here. So, oh man, what happened? Anyway, don't. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let me just drop it like this. This is what it says. This is your origin. This is you telling me this is your origin. That you strongly believe that FBA settled in North Carolina and North America in 1556 when they were allegedly brought over from the Caribbean by a colonizer. Now listen. Your origin would be Caribbean. Your lineage would be Caribbean, according to Mr. Nasheed. All right? Let me bring it up for you. Let me bring it up for you real quick, since you don't believe me. This is what FBAs believe. Right? My audio keep going down. All right, hold up. This is what FBAs believe. All right? According to the official FBA website, foundational Black Americans are descendants of Black slaves who built the United States from scratch. Founders of the ideology, however, believe that the origins of history of the foundational Black Americans did not begin at the start of slavery in the 1600s. They strongly believe that FBA settled in North America in 1526 when they were allegedly brought over from Caribbean by a colonizer named Lucas Vasquez. So are you Caribbean or are you Foundation Americans? You Caribbean? Your lineage would be Caribbean. Your lineage would be Caribbean because you have a source before the plantation. So your lineage would not be foundational Black American. I mean, you can call yourself that. That would be a social construct. You feel me? Look, now he calling me goofy because he can't answer. You're using goofy to define us. Ha 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 ha. You're goofy. No, Brooklyn G, baby. Listen, your leader claims that you were bought from the Caribbean. That's what your leader claimed. So if your leader claimed that you was bought from the Caribbean, your lineage goes back as far as you can go. It doesn't stop midway. That's not what a lineage does. That's not what a lineage does. A lineage doesn't stop halfway. A lineage takes you as far back as you can go. Other than that, that is a social political ideal. That's the difference between a lineage. You see, this debunks lineage right now. This debunks FBA lineage right now. This debunks it right here. It debunks it from the creator. It's debunked. It's debunked right here. Your lineage takes you as far back as you can go. This is what a lineage. No, you can't remake it. You can't remake it, Murray Hayes. You know what I mean? It's right here. You're from the Caribbean. When did Tariq Nasheed say we came from the Caribbean? Right here. Let me show you a second. All right. Hey, family, indulge me real quick. Let me show this up to Brooklyn, baby, real quick. This is when he said it. All right. So when I'm about to show you right now. This is when he said it. When he filed the paperwork for Foundational Black American. Give me a second. Let me pull it up real quick for you. I'm going to pull it up for you. All right. All right, you still with me, brother? All right, DB, you can call me Goofy. That's all right. I'm going to educate you just a little bit. It's all right. So look, enjoy calling me Goofy, but let me educate you real quick. Listen. When Tariq Nasheed filed this paper right here, I'm not showing Google. This is a paper that Tariq Nasheed filed. In order to own the name Foundational Black American, he had to file this paper right here with the patent company and the U.S. patent trademark, okay? He had to see, this is not a Google search. It's a Google search, but you can actually get the PDF. So in this, where he had to advertise it, he advertised just in case somebody wanted to refute that he owned it. He advertised under News One. I'm reading the publication that he uses to substantiate what Foundational Black American is. Do you understand that, my brother? Do you understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Please be honest with me. Do you understand? You want to know where's the name at? Okay. You see that serial number right there? Hold up 1 second. You want to know the name? Is you going to admit it when I show you the name? All right. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm not even gonna pull the slides up. Give me 1 second. I can send you the link. You know what I mean? But will you accept it? But will you accept it? That's the question. Here is the patented paperwork. You can go check it out yourself. Here it is right here. Here's the paperwork right here. This is the paperwork. You can go check it out yourself. All right? You literally can go check it out yourself. Do a little bit of homework. It's right here. Look at the serial number. See the serial number right here? Don't the serial numbers match? Do they match? You see the seal? Press 7 if you see the serial numbers. Huh? Let me show you, just in case you don't know. Here go the serial number for this, and here go the serial number for what I just showed you for the book. I mean, for the publication. Now, I'm a real researcher. You see that? Here go the serial number. All right? And right here, here's the serial number. Did you see it? Right there. Here's the. Do I need to blow it up a little bit more for you? All right, let me blow it up a little bit more. There's one serial number. Right here. Can you see it? Right there. That's the serial number for this. And the one that I just showed you for the publication right here is the serial number right up underneath of it. All right. So that's what defines you. That's what defines you as Foundational Black American, not a census. Stop keep saying a census define you as Foundational Black American, because that doesn't define you as Black American. What defines you is what's in that article that was written. What defines you as Foundational Black American, I mean, is what is written in that article. There's nothing in the article that talk about the census. There's nothing in the article that talks about anything that y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. Family, press 7 and thumbs up if this was a good show. I got to get out of here, family. We've been talking for a long time. Was this a good presentation tonight or what, family? Huh? Did you enjoy it? Were you educated? Were you successfully educated? Huh? Were you successfully educated? You may not like my style. You may not like that I'm keep talking about Ricky, but there's a lot of education in this subject matter. There's a lot of education in this subject matter. I talked about nationality. I talked about race. I talked about lineage. I talked about patenting. I talked about trademark. There is a lot of information in this.
If this was another genre like entertainment, news, would have
Man,
millions and millions of views. This is a
on all type of
masterpiece.
manuscripts. Man, you took a hell of an L, silly Billy Carson.
All the streets in.
You debating a dead man, bro.
No.
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% Foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though, DJ?
We can.
Listen, why is it that Tariq Nasheed gets to tell people that his family, listen to this.
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So
if he can trace everything back to Alabama and North Carolina, why hasn't he showed the paperwork? The same way that he put the paperwork up to say that I was a registered offender. Why hasn't he showed the paperwork? Huh? I'm a black Brooklyn baby. He just dumb. Bye, Brooklyn. Bye, Brooklyn. You don't want to learn. Who cares about 20? Listen, let me tell you something, Brooklyn baby. Brooklyn baby said, and then I'm going to block you when I finish this. Brooklyn baby said 211 people, only 5 people got your back. You're goofy. Let me explain something to you. My brother Jesus fed 5,000 people. He had a couple loaves of bread and 2 fishes, right? And he fed 5,000 people. Everywhere that Jesus went, they were following him. They would surround him, tens of thousands of people. But when it came to telling the truth, Jesus was by himself. Jesus was by himself, and the people that came to take him down, they looked at him and say, "Are you him?" And Jesus say, "Is it ye that say that I'm him?" Peter took off running. Jesus stood like a soldier, like, man, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, whether it's 5,000, 50,000, or I'm standing by myself, I ain't never by myself. Because I roll with the universal creator. I ain't never by myself. So I don't need big crowds. All I need is a few to understand. And those few will make a wave that will go on for over 2,000 years. Just like the story Jesus have been carrying on, whether you believe it or not, it's been carrying on for over 2,000 years. And this story here will do the same thing. Now, so, all right. Thank you, Brooklyn baby. I see you next time you come in. That's probably Tariq Nasheed. Thank you for the view. Listen, one thing about social media and what you call YouTube, you get up in the ranks by watch time. So I thank Brooklyn baby, G baby, for spending all this time with us, because he has also helped Moorish World TV to get up in the ranks, because you get interested, you get pushed through the ranks by watch time. So as long as he here is going back and forth with me, that works for the channel. Thank you so much, but I'll block you now, and we'll wait until the next G baby come in, and we'll let them have some fun. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll block them too. You know what I mean?
Man, these people are just poor dummies. You know, what can you do? I make more money than rappers.
Yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
That's right.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember.
Yeah.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you's a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucy. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. Yeah, I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you kill and fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish World, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, that town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, LA. I be that more you gon' remember, New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.